Those that get the best success when it comes to sales in a modern environment do two things with their prospects. They focus on educating and helping, and they add value. My name is James White. I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert. Let's have a look at the video and see how we can make sure you provide the right value and education to win more business. So the first thing you've got to do when it comes to sales is you've got to really address a big issue or something that's key in the market. Maybe ask your management about what's the big issue that we're trying to address. What's the major thing that's going on in the world? What's happening? What's changing that's making people stand up? So, for example, a great example of that is there's loads of stuff going on around vegans, for example, at the moment, or health foods, or different ways in which you can create different technology, for example. There's got to be a big issue. Maybe it's an environmental issue because environment's so important at the moment. Maybe it's to do with Brexit. I don't know. Whatever. If you're based in the UK, that's a key concern. But the point is, identify a big issue that's causing concern or issues for the target customer base you're working with, and try and look at what you can do that can resonate with what they're thinking. That's the first point around education and value. Give something that's relevant, top of mind for those prospects, and it's going to help them then think, this is someone I need to watch or listen to or learn more from. So the second point around creating value and education is to then develop content that really links into this thought process and this journey that they're going on. Is it a case of, for example, let's just say, in my case, it may well be people thinking, how can I achieve, get better sales results? How can I motivate my sales team? How can I win more business? How can I convert more leads? Whatever it is, they're thinking through something in their mind. And so my goal is to be able to try and provide content that can then help them provide value to be able to see that I can show them and give them some ideas and thoughts that can help them win new business. Develop that content that's going to enable someone to think that it was really useful. One of the most popular guides that I've done are 42 questions. I give people questions you can ask your prospects. You can get that on my website. Or I will also create content like I've got a new prospect profile document. It's a template that you can use when you meet with a prospect for the first time. I'm focused on providing value to my clients and my prospects because I want to help them. I want to help them achieve better sales results. And so what is the content that you can create that can actually be valuable to your prospective clients? Content is so essential for salespeople now and in your business. And if you haven't got content that shares what you do, shares about the problems that you solve and the impact you have, you're going to struggle. So make sure you create it so you're in a position to share it and then hopefully build up a great position in the prospect's mind that this is someone I like, I can trust and work with. Content matters. Get it in place. If you do it, it's going to help educate and it's going to help show your prospect you really want to add value to them and help them achieve their goals. So the third point to think about is, and this is a book that I found incredibly valuable by a guy called Marcus Sheridan, and it was called They Ask, You Answer. And the concept he has was really simple. It was all around prospects and people that are looking to buy your service or product are thinking about things in their mind. They're thinking, how will I do this? How can I solve this? Should I do for this? How can I make this happen? What will be the impact of this? They're searching and thinking of questions all day long. What's the difference between company A and company B? And what his comment was give them content that actually answers that question in your website, on your YouTube channel, on your social media, whatever it is. Give them that content, answer their questions directly, even in a way if it involves including your competitors on that website, even if you've literally got to include, here are 4 or 5 of other companies that work with similar position to me, here's where you would choose me rather them, or us rather than them. Because what that does is it elevates you as a company to someone they feel they can trust. They know, the prospect's thinking that. They're thinking, oh, should I choose between this person or that person? And you've actually put that in front of them on a web page or on a blog or on a video. It's going to elevate you because they're thinking, well, hey, these guys have got nothing to hide. They really want me to make the best decision. And if there are differences between you and your competition, then the client's going to see that for themselves, or the prospect's going to see that for themselves. It's a really great way in order to be able to just get prospects to believe and see that you're about adding value and helping and educating them, not just trying to sell to them. So the fourth point, and a really just basic and simple one, is that if you're going to provide information that shows certain situations, back it up with facts, back it up with evidence, back it up with research or reports, Don't just come out and say something that, especially in this modern era and we've got this concept of fake news, if there's a study that shows something in your industry is affected or your product helps something to make something different, then show that study, research it, reference it. Say a study a few years ago showed X, Y, and Z. This is now why we've introduced this service to solve that problem. Facts and evidence are the way in which you can show value to your prospects. It helps educate them. It helps make them see that you're not just saying what you want, but you're giving them real evidence and documentation that supports the information and the position that you have. Do that, share that, make that public, and allow them to go and view it for themselves. And again, it's going to help elevate you in their mind. It's going to make you think you're focused on educating them and giving them useful, valuable information. And it's going to make a big difference when it comes to them looking to trust and work with you. The fifth point when it comes to educating your client base and your prospect base is all around also the ability to basically connect and not try and convert. I always say to people, and I do this a lot when I give presentations, modern sales is around the idea of service. I have a picture, I'll include it on the video, a picture of a man, a waiter at a restaurant holding up a glass of champagne, serving people. And when you create content that really looks to serve and to help and to support and to really make things better for people rather than trying to sell to them, the things change. And I encourage people, if you are trying to prospect with someone on a regular basis, if you send them a message to connect, maybe on LinkedIn, and you say to them, would you want to buy my product? Chances are, unless it's very lucky to hit them at the right time and the right place, you're going to get ignored. If, however, you know who they are, you know the potential challenges and issues or wants that a person of that role would have, and then you share maybe a couple of guides. Here's a guide I thought might be useful. Here's another guide I thought might be relevant for you. Here's a video where I talk about some things that I believe people in your position are facing. And you continue to provide value and content that's really useful, you are going to make a difference in that person's mind. They're going to think, okay, well, what's this person doing? Why is they sharing this with me? They might actually automatically think that you're trying to sell to them, but if in that then conversation, you then say, look, I'm only interested in trying to help you, and ultimately in the sales process, it's not about you. It's about your prospect and what they need. So focus on being able to try to connect, to trying to serve, to trying to help, not just trying to think about selling and trying to hit a quota. If that's the way you approach it, then be prepared to be knocked back time and time again. But if you want to add value, if you want to do what Warren Buffett says, great quote, someone is sitting in the shade because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Be that person that continues to add value, continues to share information, continues to help people. And what you'll find is your position and what you do will grow in that prospect's mind over a period of time. And eventually they'll come and say, hey, maybe we have a chat about how you can help me solve that problem. And then suddenly you've got an opening in to be able to work with them. Connect, don't try and convert. Serve, don't try and sell. Focus on those elements, and it's going to be a massive factor in helping you win more business. And the sixth point really that I think is really key when it comes to content and education, and this is also so relevant when you've got a very targeted customer you're working with, is share great content, case studies and materials that can make them think and resonate with them. Prospects don't buy things because they can't picture themselves in that position. If you could guarantee it, if you could transport them there literally 4 months down the line in a time capsule now, and they could see themselves in a success, they would sign on the dotted line. They can't do that, and it's our job as salespeople to be able to show them how we can make that happen. Great ways of doing that is creating the valuable content, but also being able to give them evidence and examples of others that have done the same thing. You do need to make sure when you're doing this that you're targeted, and I always encourage, my third stage of my dating sales is like dating model, is all around the right type of client. If you do this across a generic group of customers, it's going to be more difficult. But if you target people specifically, a group of clients in a specific industry or type of person, type of role, and you put this in place, it's going to help them build trust in you, it's going to help them believe that you can solve their problem, and it's going to help them really know that you're someone that they can work with, that they can also build a relationship with, who can make a difference in their world. So there are 6 ideas on how you can educate and help add value to your prospects and help them work with you. I'll be honest with you, this type of sales approach is not going to deliver immediate results. You're not going to do something tomorrow and see a result maybe 2-3 days later. It can take months. It can take 2, 3, maybe 6 months. But if that deal or that opportunity or if that prospect is someone you want to work with and you've worked out that there's a value to you for doing that, then focus on providing value, focus on helping them, focus on serving them, and I can assure you that over a period of time, it will warm them up to you, it will make them want to trust you, it will make them want to talk to you, and it will enable you to open doors that you never were able to before. That is the way in which you win business on a consistent way. You give people value, you help them, and you make them want to work with you. Do that, you're on a fast track to sales success. So look, I hope this video has been useful and given you some ideas around what you can do. But what are the things that work for you? If you educate, what are the tools that you use to educate your prospects and customers? Put them in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you some insight and some ideas on what can get you the better sales results you want. And if I can help you in any way, let me know. Reach out to me on my website, www.jameswhite.business, or search for me on any social media channel, James White Sales, and me or one of my team will be happy to get back to you really soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you can subscribe, I'd love you to be able to get access to my videos every Saturday morning. And if you can also think it can benefit a family, friend, or colleague, or someone you know, I'd love you to share the video as well. Really appreciate you watching. I look forward to sharing another video really soon.